What is up, guys? Kane here, and in this one we're gonna talk about dual tower PvP once more. In this one we're gonna talk about somebody's formation and more or less looking into some mistakes in his formation on his heroes or stuff like that and what he can potentially improve. I faced this person twice, and both of the times the fight wasn't even close. Both of the times it was burst versus stall. So we're gonna talk about the last fight that we had. So I think by the end I probably revived the swordman. I'm not entirely sure, but I think the second time he got a little bit closer into killing some. The first replay he didn't even scratch any of them. So that is why I kind of chose this replay. In terms of damage, my Tisafin did a ton, my Raxius, Valerie, Arian, Archers did some, but then that's pretty much it. In terms of damage taken, this is likely on the stall side. Healing done, I mean, nobody's gonna be healing a ton if the swordmen are not really taking that much damage. So like we always do, we start from the pets. The pets are same level. However, his pet is 3-star, which provides a bit less stats than my pet currently. I'm not sure how useful that difference is. As well as the ability is has decent range, but the effect is rather not as high as it could be. And if he's even using this to bypass my stall and not being able to do that, then likely there is something really wrong. So let's start with the dragons. Like always, I have the same dragon, 2 greater abilities in terms of dragon scale and the aura blast. I got 2 tier 4s, 1 in destruction, 1 in affliction. His dragon has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 greater abilities. Let's see. Yeah, 5 greater abilities. He has 3 tier 4 talents. Though his health and attack value is rather quite low. So I have 76 1.5. He has 66 1.4. So his dragon is actually weaker than mine in terms of stats. Swordman, let's start from mine. So I have the Covenant Divine, as I've showcased many times, 4.6 million HP and 99 resistances with some healing received and stuff like that, though my resistances are well above 99 as well. His HP is a bit higher than mine. He doesn't have Covenant 35. His resistances are quite a bit lower than mine. Even healing received is lower, so his Covenant should be kind of questionable, because I'm not sure what he would be raising in Covenant if these kind of stats are that kind of low. So archers, my archers have 13.5 million attack. They have decent resistances, not that good, but decent. 4.3 attack speed, a 90 crit, rather 330 critical damage percent. And I do believe right now I have close to 100 physical damage dealt. Tomorrow or the next day after this video, I'm gonna have well over 100, because I'm gonna break through one legendary to gain, I think, like 7% times 2 if I even get that. So likely maybe 10 to 15% or so. In terms of his archers, he has 16.7. He has lower attack speed. He has similar crit rate and crit damage. Unsure of how much physical damage he has, but his resistances are pretty much god awful. Like, he has physical resistance, but majority of the damage that usually reaches them is magical based. I mean, sure, Rufio isn't magical, but I mean, mages are pretty much the cause of majority of the archer's demise. So that would be ideal to be slightly changed. So let's talk about the feel. So for many people, something like this is pretty friggin' usual, except for this particular line right here. You would move this line up until here. That is like the most basic of the basics of human formations that people do. Now, quite a lot of people ask for my formation. This is my formation. It's a similar version of what I had in Lich, and it's performing well for me. As you can see, there are some empty squares right here. I cannot really do much about them. I didn't think of a way to even insert something better here or this one. I have to have 5 swordmen squad for them to perform well. So what tends to happen is this particular squad goes here. Sometimes it goes a little bit further than frontline, but like maybe 5 to 10%. This particular squad is also over buffed with the what's it called, Astrarian Fari. Matiadrin has I think the Valkyrie's banner, so she also adds Valkyrie's banner on this particular swordman, and this swordman usually tends to walk forward, and if they don't find an empty spot, they start walking to the right and helping out there. Not always, but sometimes, and that ends up pretty much helping me out like a lot. I'm not sure if this formation is the best either. This is what I'm using, pretty much built for my own specific field and use, with all the buffs that I had and I placed and potentials without too much swapping and stuff like that. So the big mistake that I kind of noticed was on his Valerie. So the build is okay-ish. I would argue about this trinket if I didn't check his prism, and his prism is aerial strike and like range, and he even did attack speed, where in such a case you would have to have range as well. So in the next patch, or the patch after that, I'm not sure when, they're gonna nerf the range builds, meaning all of this is pointless if you even have a Rage 4 Hero Mastery, which will increase it. It only works like the highest value, but even then, this is god awful. Like, it doesn't do more damage than a regular Valerie build with Arcanist Fury. Main reason is because this bonus 75% attack. It raises the attack value incredibly high. Like, basically, if you have 10 million attack on your Valerie and you would add this particular prism, that 10 million will turn to 17 or 17.5. I'm not sure exactly, but I think this is like a true value, and it raises literally everything else. I'm not sure about the skins or that kind of stuff, but as far as I know, this is pretty friggin' huge. Let's just quickly check whether or not that's true, so I don't, talk nonsense. So my Valerie has almost 24 million attack. We remove this, and it removed literally 10 million attack. 10 million. So if my Valerie right now has 13.4, that's even more than 75%. It's more than 75% though. Because I think 7%. It would be 9. So it's. I might have to do some calculations after that, but I would think it's a little bit above 75%, maybe 8. I'm not sure on the quick maths with very huge numbers. But yeah, it is a lot, and not having that much, I suppose, attack value as well kind of diminishes in the amount of damage she can do to frontline. And if your other heroes are not able to dish out a ton of damage in the enemy backline, this Valerie is gonna do 0 damage whatsoever, especially if you manage to debuff her as well. And it's pretty much evident in terms of like this fight. Like, the Valerie did 20 million or so, and I think she's on the stall side too. Yeah, his Valerie is on the stall side. I didn't even touch her. That's the kind of stuff that that build is doing. So I didn't really check quite a few other heroes, but I think some of them are decent. I'm not entirely sure. But let's check the core ones. The Valerie is okay. This sort of build with stunning means that the Avril can pretty much die very quickly. I wouldn't really advise Android users to go with this build. iOS users can because they're not lagging. Android users, not so much. Rufio build is okay. Abilities, Warhorn, all that kind of stuff. Wait, what? He's a human player, and his Avalon is potential 35. That's not that good. Hmm. I think more than half of the heroes have like a decent equipment build. Checking the prisms requires like hours and hours and hours, but some attack values on particular heroes are really not that huge. Like even this Valerie, I think he has a lot of prisms at tier 10, which adds a lot of stats, but if some of those DPSs are not doing that much damage, it's not really going to perform well. And I have made a video explaining how to increase hero attack, and it's only good if you build around it and you build around mages to do more damage. So for example, if you have a ton of prisms, let's just find a buffer like Avalon. If you have this prism, I do believe this bonus is like 2% that increases your hero's attack HP, same as your dragon, same as your army. But if you're gonna lose this hero and this hero dies in PvP, you literally lose this particular bonus right here. But if you have, I'm not sure if I do have, I don't think I have hero attack prisms on my field. But if you have hero attack prisms on heroes, even if that hero would die or you haven't fielded that hero, that attack value will still remain high regardless of that hero being on the field or dying or not. So it might be better, it might be less, but I think his heroes kind of require just a little bit more hero attack value from somewhere. So let's jump into the fight and actually see what happened in it. So again, as I said, it's burst versus stall. So I entered the fight 2 seconds too late, like always. I cast Araxius on heroes on frontline, and then I did the last one I think in here. So I would touch the archers as well with a debuff. So he tagged my dragon, hoping these archers would kill it. Usually that is pretty bad. What you want to do is you want to cast either Valerie or you cast Raxius or something, and you want to just start killing my buffing heroes. If you're facing the stall, you kill these heroes, I essentially lose buffs, and then you have an easier time to likely clear the stall side. If you are tagging my dragon, and the dragon is taking no damage, pretty much you lost the fight from the first few seconds. Only tagging the dragon works if my dragon is like very close to these archers and they would refocus, or this dragon is in front of rogues and whatever, or even Tissaphant, like right in front of them. Then tagging can work. Otherwise, it's just a waste, and you're just gonna lose the fight from that failure of ability selection. So, majority of the fights have a pretty specific ability cast. I have said this in multiple videos. I cast Raxius. Well, now I cast Raxius, Rufio, and I think either Valerie or Rufio and then Valerie. Before it was either Valerie or Raxius, then Rufio, or I don't know. First it was God damn it, I already forgot. First, it was either Raxius or Valerie, then Avril, then Rufio, then Avril again, and then likely Valerie. That was the usual cast that I had. Now I kind of changed it up a bit. I'm like fully built on resistance removal so my mages could break through quicker. So builds change. There are quite a few builds in terms of casting skills and stuff like that, and people need to find what they should be doing. So if you're focusing mages, it's gonna be pretty specific. You have Valerie, you have Avril, you have Raxius, and you have perhaps some other gladiator or rogue or something like that, which could help you out. But essentially, for running mages and necromancers, Valerie, Avril, Raxius are pretty much your top 3 casters in the first 10 seconds, depending on a few other things here and there. Perhaps even Rufio if he has some like decent stuff equipped. But yeah, pretty much the small resistances, him not having Covenant invested. Some things in terms of hero stats are pretty low. His dragon stats are pretty low. I think he has even more prisms in terms of level and all the other stats on both army, dragon, heroes. But the values are all pretty low, and if some of these level 65 buffers die, they lose their prisms, and those prisms at tier 9 or 10 mean literally nothing. That is why I don't kind of follow anywhere close to that particular build or whatever. But I suppose that's pretty much it for this video. Don't really want to make it too long. I am tired. I was water jet skiing and my arms are actually killing me. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. And if you wish to support me more than just watching my videos, I have made a Patreon page where you would be able to do just that. And in return, I would be able to help you out more informations, PvP, events, and stuff like that. As well as I would like to thank all of my patrons for the support. I really, really, really appreciate it for your subscriptions. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Take care and stay safe out there.